Okay, welcome back. Let's go ahead and start adding a floor to our home. What I would like you to do is head over to the level 1 of your floor plans, and right away we see our house, and you might also notice that we can still see some of the lines that are supposed to be only in the plumbing plan. But in level 1 we can see them kind of trickling out, and if I switch to wireframe mode, we'd see the remainder of the lines. And you might be wondering, why do we create a plumbing plan if it's going to show the exact same thing? Well, it's not supposed to over here, and we actually just need to get rid of it. To get rid of unwanted things between different floor areas or different components of this file, what we need to do is head over to Visibility Graphics Overrides right over here. And you can get to that if you don't see it just by clicking somewhere in the file, and then it should pop up. I'm going to go ahead and edit that, and we're going to scroll down to Lines over here. I'm going to click the plus right next to it, and I'm going to deactivate my cold water, the drain, the hidden, or not the hidden, the hot water, and the vent lines. So I turn them all off, I hit apply, hit OK, and now you'll notice that they are gone from this view, whereas if I head over to the plumbing plan, they're still there, which is nice because we don't want them to show up right now. Okay, so the next thing we usually do in our house is we add a floor. Floors are generally pretty easy to add. All you need to do is head over to the floor tab, located up here, or the floor button, and we're going to go ahead and just click on it. And we also have an option. We can simply click on the walls, and if I click on the walls, you'll notice that it's kind of drawing this purple line. That is actually representing my floor, and I can kind of adjust that if I'd like. You're typically able to adjust it. Let me click, yeah. If you press escape, you can then grab these little arrows here, and you can kind of adjust how your house represents itself. And you can draw your floor. And you might also notice that it's not moving it directly onto the edge, and that's because if you draw your floor to the edge, it will kind of show up in the 3D view, and we don't want that to happen. That's one way to draw the floor. I don't use this way a lot because when we have doors and windows and other things in our house, if we forgot to add in the floor or if we want to alter the floor, then there will be gaps. And gaps aren't usually a good thing. So I usually just manually draw in my components, floor included, and it's really simple. When you're drawing it out, you just want to look. You should have some draw tools here, and we were on the boundary before, or no, we weren't on the boundary, we're on like a floor select, I believe. And we can just use like the rectangle tool or the line tool, and we can draw out the area that we want to represent our floor. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool, and I'm going to literally draw out from edge to edge the area that is going to consist of my floor. Right over there, perfect. Just like that. And if you do it correctly, you can hit this green check mark, and it's generated a floor. And if you don't believe me, head over to your 3D view, and let's take a look at what we have. So there is our floor over there. It defaults to a generic material, just like with the walls, but just like with the walls, we can edit it. We can go to Edit Type, we can go to the structure, but we wouldn't just click it right away. We would duplicate this, call it like Interior Floor, although in all honesty, you would have multiple floor types in your house. One room might be carpeted, another one might be tiled, another one has wood on the floor. It really depends, but make sure whatever you do, you duplicate it, and then you can edit the structure just like we did before. And I'm just going to, for quick purposes, just look for some carpet or something. There's some carpet, I can click it. You can take a look at it. It's like this reddish carpet. I'm fine with that. I'll hit apply. Okay. Okay. And now we have a carpet floor in our house. And you can tell that's some top quality carpet over there. Now remember, your floor also has, like the subfloor in it. It has joists, it has other components in it. This is just for a visual representation. If you want to add all those things, you are more than welcome to. Um, yes, there are many things, and a quick Google search can give you the information of what is in a floor. Now I didn't notice this before, but these are the interior walls we created, and like I mentioned, Revit defaults to 20 feet for new walls. So I'm just going to select them all, holding down the Control button, and I'm going to adjust the unconnected height to, I believe we said 10 feet, but let's go ahead and try 10 feet. And no, it was 8 feet. So this is just one of the many ways we can adjust that. Okay, nice. We have our floor, we have the rest of our house. This is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add a few more crucial components to our home, aka the doors and the windows. I'm going to head back to my level 1 floor plan. Over here we have doors. Over here we have the window button, and it's just as simple as loading in a component. I'm going to click on door, and I'm going to, oh, it has some default ones, but I'm going to load family and go to doors. I should point out right now that if you go to component and then you try to load in doors, it won't work. Doors can only be acted or opened with the door option. So I can place these nice doors in my house, but I'll show you right now. If I clicked on component and I went to load family and I went to windows because I'm like, oh, I want a window, and I forgot to click the window button, and I double clicked on one, you're going to see you get this error here. Cannot load family files. I am in the wrong category. So I added my door. I should probably add some doors to these rooms as well, because actually there is no way to get in it. And actually a double door won't cut it. There we go. Now, I oftentimes get asked, what is the appropriate door you should be using? This is a 36-inch by 80 door. And the answer is, doors can be 32 inches and still be what we consider handicap accessible. However, the hallway that the door goes into has to be at least 36 to 42 inches, I think, depending on where you're at. And I think it could go all the way up to 48 inches. But 36 inches is the minimum for the hallways. And just a good rule of thumb is if you make a door 36, then the hallway should be fine as well. So those are some doors. That's just some tidbit of knowledge. We can also add in some windows. So I'm going to click here. Once again, you see the walls helping us out, and we can position our windows into place. I can also load in windows like we did before. And okay, there's no single or double, but we can also, different windows have different R values, which is the amount of heat flow or heat lost in a building. It's like the resistance to heat transfer. And some of these actually have really good R values, so if you want to keep the heat in your building, you're more than able to. Okay, cool. So we went ahead and we added some doors, we added some windows. After this, what I usually like to do is classify the rooms. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how we can classify the rooms, get some areas, and do some basic dimensioning. Okay, till then, see you later.